Hi, welcome back to my channel. Let's go through the last main cheat sheet of security in the GCP. You can use this cheat sheet for your GCP PCA and PDE exams. The first one is Identity and Access Management, Cloud IAM. GCP resources are organized hierarchically. In this sample resource hierarchy, organization node is the root node in the hierarchy. The projects are the children of the organization, and the other resources are the children of the projects. Each resource has exactly one parent. Folders level is optional for additional grouping and isolating between the projects. Before I summarize how to set up policies at each level, let's take a look at how IAM works first. With IAM, you manage access control by defining who has what access for which resource. IAM policy defines and enforces what rules are granted to which members, and this policy is attached to a resource. A policy is set on a resource. Each policy contains rules and rule members. Rule is a collection of permissions with the format service.resource.verb, for example, pubsub.topics.publish. There are three types of rules: basic rules, owner, editor, and viewer. The predefined rules are the rules that give a fine-grained access control than the basic rules. You can also create custom rules to the needs of your organization when predefined rules don't meet your needs. In IAM, you grant access to members. Members can be a Google account for the individual users, service account for an application instead of individual end user, Google group, a named connection of Google accounts and service accounts, Google Workspace domain, a virtual group of all the Google accounts, Cloud Identity domain, like a Google Workspace domain without access to Google Workspace applications, all authenticated users, a special identifier to represent authenticated user with any GCP account, and the all users, a special identifier to represent authenticated and unauthenticated users. Now, if you look back on the GCP hierarchy, you can set up policies at organization level, project level, and resources level. Resources inherit policies from their parent. Resource policies are a union of a parent and a resource. If a parent policy is less restrictive, it overrides a more restrictive resource policy. If you want to learn more of the IAM and the security of each individual Google Cloud service, you can review this service's last-minute cheat sheet video in my channel. You will have some questions on IAM for the cloud billing in the PCA exam. Now let's move to the cloud billing. There are two types of relationships govern the interactions between organizations: cloud billing accounts and the projects, ownership and payment lineage. Ownership refers to the IAM permission inheritance. Payment lineages define which cloud billing account pays for a given project. Here's a summary on the IAM for the Google Cloud billing. You can set up an IAM policy at organization level, the cloud billing account level, and the project level. The billing rules defined in the cloud IAM. On the organization level, you can create a billing account creator, which create a new billing accounts. On the organization or billing account, you can have a billing account administrator, which manage but not create accounts. Billing account user, which link the projects to the billing accounts. Billing account viewer, which will view the billing account, cost information, and transactions. On the organization folder or project level, you can define the project billing manager, which is unlink the project to from a billing account, but no access to the project resources. I highlighted the IAM Best Practices for the exams, but you should review the details in Google Cloud documentation if you have time. The first one is the principle of the least privilege, that you should always apply the minimum access level required. When you use a service account, make sure to rotate your service account keys. Be careful not to confuse the encryption keys with the service account keys. Don't check in the service account keys into the source code or leave them in the downloads directory. Use the logs from Cloud Audit Logs to regularly audit changes to your IAM policy. Export audit logs to the cloud storage for long-term retention. Restrict log access with the cloud login rules. Use logs from Cloud Audit Logs to regularly audit access to the service account keys. Set organization-level IAM policies to grant access to all projects in your organization. Grant roles to a Google group instead of individual users when possible. Thanks for watching, and as always, subscribe to my channel for more great cloud computing learning tips. See you next time.